Good morning/afternoon, everyone. Have you ever felt stuck, like you're moving in circles but never getting closer to your goals? The truth is, life transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's not a big, dramatic change that suddenly appears. No, it's built through the small, consistent daily habits that, over time, shape who we become. Everything begins with a question: why? It's the first spark that ignites any great journey, project, or transformation. When we truly understand the reasons behind our actions, we align ourselves with a deeper purpose that propels us forward. This question is not just for big decisions or life-changing moments. It applies to the smallest everyday choices as well. When it comes to transforming our lives, answering the question of why is the starting point for everything else. Imagine waking up every morning with a clear, burning sense of purpose. Why do you do what you do? Why do you want to improve? What drives you to make changes in your life? Understanding your why helps you tap into an intrinsic motivation that no external force can replicate. When your actions are connected to a deep-seated reason, each task, no matter how mundane it may seem, takes on greater meaning. You start seeing your daily habits as stepping stones toward a bigger picture rather than just a list of tasks to check off. Many people attempt to change their habits without first considering their why. They rely on willpower alone or follow external trends or expectations. But willpower is finite. It fades when the going gets tough. What happens when motivation wanes or when you face obstacles that feel insurmountable? But when you have a strong sense of why, you're able to push through those moments of doubt and continue moving forward because you have something powerful anchoring you. Consider the example of someone wanting to get healthier. They might start a workout routine because they want to lose weight or to look a certain way. But when the excitement fades and the initial results aren't as visible as they'd hoped, they may abandon the effort. But if that person's why is deeper, if they are motivated by the desire to feel stronger, to have more energy, or to live a longer life for their family, the routine becomes part of something bigger than just aesthetics. The drive to feel better, to live more fully, becomes the fuel that sustains their commitment, even on the hard days. Your why gives you the strength to stay the course when external circumstances might try to throw you off. It's what helps you see obstacles not as dead ends, but as challenges to overcome. It turns failure into a lesson rather than a setback. If you know why you're making changes, you can reframe difficulties and focus on the progress, not just the end goal. When we set out to transform our lives, it's easy to get caught up in external measures of success. We look at how others are progressing, compare ourselves to others, and measure our progress by societal standards. But transformation that lasts is not about comparison. It's about connecting with your own unique why. Your purpose will drive you in ways that comparisons never will. The more deeply you can understand and connect with your why, the more authentic your transformation will be. Your journey will be uniquely yours. Let's also talk about how our why fuels our resilience. Transformation is not a straight line. It's full of ups and downs, twists and turns. Having a strong reason behind your actions makes it easier to bounce back after setbacks. It keeps you grounded when everything around you feels uncertain. Your why will serve as a touchstone, reminding you of your larger mission. When you're aligned with a sense of purpose, failure doesn't feel like an end. Instead, it becomes part of the learning process. You can look at it as an opportunity for growth, an integral part of your journey. Having a why doesn't just help you stay motivated, it gives you clarity in your decisions. When you're aligned with a purpose, your daily choices, both big and small, become easier. You no longer feel lost or overwhelmed by the multitude of options. Your why acts as a filter, helping you make decisions that are in line with your greater vision. It helps you prioritize the things that matter most and let go of distractions that don't serve your ultimate goal. So the next time you set out to make a change in your life, whether it's building better habits, pursuing a new goal, or navigating an obstacle, take a moment to ask yourself, why am I doing this? Find the deeper reason that connects your action to your larger vision. When you start with why, everything else falls into place. It's the foundation that will hold up your goals, your habits, and ultimately, your transformation. We live in a world that often glorifies perfection. From the polished images on social media to the pressure to constantly achieve at the highest level, it's easy to believe that success is only attainable when everything is flawless. But the truth is, perfection is an illusion. Consistency, not perfection, is the true driver of progress and success. When we focus on showing up day after day, rather than trying to be perfect from the start, we open ourselves up to growth, learning, and lasting transformation. Perfection can feel like a distant ideal, a goal that always seems just out of reach. It creates an environment where we judge ourselves harshly, expecting that each step we take must be flawless, and any misstep is a failure. This mindset can be paralyzing. It can prevent us from even starting because we fear we won't be able to live up to some ideal standard. We might put off starting a new project, making a positive change in our lives, or developing a new habit because we think that if we can't do it perfectly, there's no point in doing it at all. But this mindset is limiting. The reality is that perfection is not sustainable. No one is perfect. No journey is without setbacks. There will always be bumps along the road, and that's okay. The key is to embrace the process, not the outcome. It's about showing up consistently, day after day, even when it feels like you're not getting it right. The small, daily actions are what add up over time and lead to significant change. It's the repetition, the practice, and the continued effort that lead to improvement, not the occasional perfect performance. Consistency allows you to build momentum. Think of any successful person you admire. Their achievements didn't come from one big perfect leap. They came from daily habits, from committing to their goals and sticking with them. The athlete doesn't win a championship by training once in a while. They win through daily practice, working tirelessly toward their goal, even on the days they don't feel like it. The writer doesn't finish a book by writing only when inspiration strikes. They write consistently, even when the words aren't flowing easily. It's through consistent effort that skills are honed, habits are formed, and progress is made. When you shift your focus from perfection to consistency, you also open yourself up to a more forgiving, compassionate approach to growth. There's no need to be perfect, but there is a need to be consistent. By showing up regularly, you create the conditions for growth. You begin to understand that mistakes aren't failures, they're opportunities to learn and improve. Each time you fall short of your expectations, you learn something that makes you better prepared for the next attempt. With consistency, failure becomes less about a permanent setback and more about a temporary detour on the path to success. Another important benefit of consistency is the ability to track progress. When we try to be perfect, we often focus too much on the end result, but consistency allows us to see incremental progress along the way. As we repeat actions, no matter how small they seem, we start to notice improvements. Whether it's a fitness goal, learning a new skill, or building a new habit, the little steps we take each day accumulate, and over time we look back and realize how far we've come. Progress becomes more visible when we focus on the daily commitment, rather than expecting perfection from the outset. Moreover, the act of being consistent helps us stay grounded in our purpose. When we show up every day, we remind ourselves of why we're doing what we're doing. It's not about being perfect. It's about showing up for ourselves, day in and day out, to move one step closer to our goals. We develop resilience and tenacity along the way, and each day we demonstrate to ourselves that we are capable of staying the course, even when things get tough. Ultimately, consistency is the bedrock upon which success is built. It's what enables you to stay focused, to keep going even when motivation wanes, and to make lasting change. Perfection is an unrealistic standard, but consistency is something anyone can cultivate. By focusing on showing up every day, not striving for perfection, but just doing the work, we unlock our potential. And in the process, we realize that the journey is just as valuable as the destination. The simple truth is this: when we stop trying to be perfect and instead commit to being consistent, we give ourselves the best chance to succeed. Routines have a unique power to shape our lives. They act as the structure within which we create success, build progress, and form lasting change. Yet, the routines we establish are not just about filling time or sticking to a checklist. They are the vehicles that drive us toward our goals. Impactful routines are those that align with our deeper values and purpose, helping us stay grounded in what matters most, while also creating space for personal growth. These routines act as anchors, keeping us focused even in the midst of life's inevitable distractions. The first step in creating impactful routines is to recognize that they must serve a purpose. Routines should not be random or simply something we do out of habit. Instead, they need to be intentional. Every action within your routine should connect to something meaningful in your life, whether it's physical health, mental well-being, professional success, or personal growth. Each part of your routine should have a clear reason for being there. And to be clear, where's the meaningful point of a semi-subliminal sign at your workplace? A morning routine, for example, can set the tone for your entire day. Instead of rushing through the morning, a well-structured routine allows you to start your day with intention, whether it's through mindfulness practices, exercise, reading, or reflection. Each of these actions builds momentum and prepares you for the challenges ahead, creating a sense of purpose that lasts throughout the day. A successful routine also needs to be sustainable. It's not enough to simply design an ideal routine based on what seems productive or desirable. It's about finding a routine that fits seamlessly into your life, one that you can maintain over time. If your routine is too rigid or demands more energy than you can give, it will eventually lead to burnout. Instead, focus on crafting a routine that supports your long-term goals and accommodates the realities of your daily life. Small, consistent actions will always be more effective than grandiose plans that are impossible to stick with. For example, if you want to develop a regular exercise habit, start with manageable workouts, something you can easily fit into your schedule without feeling overwhelmed. Over time, you can increase the intensity or duration, but the key is starting with something that feels achievable and not too taxing. The same goes for building any other new habit. Incremental changes allow your routine to become a natural part of your life rather than an external burden. Impactful routines also give us the freedom to focus on what truly matters. When we know we have a set of habits and actions to rely on each day, we free up mental energy to focus on bigger goals. A well-designed routine creates predictability, which reduces decision fatigue and helps us prioritize. Think of it like the autopilot for your day. It removes the need to deliberate over what you should do next because the routine is already set. This sense of structure provides clarity, allowing us to be more present and intentional with the choices we make, both inside and outside of the routine. Another key element of impactful routines is flexibility. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and sometimes things will come up that disrupt your routine. Whether it's an unexpected work deadline or a family emergency, the ability to adapt and adjust is crucial. This is why your routines should be adaptable to different circumstances. Instead of feeling defeated by a missed workout or an off day, having a flexible routine allows you to make small adjustments without completely abandoning your goals. If your morning routine gets interrupted, perhaps you can shorten it or focus on one key element that day. Flexibility ensures that your routines don't feel like an all or nothing commitment, but rather a guiding framework that can be molded to fit various circumstances. When routines become truly impactful, they start to align with your broader life vision. They help you cultivate the habits that move you closer to your purpose, allowing you to reach your potential without feeling like you're constantly striving or forcing things. Over time, these routines become ingrained in your lifestyle. You may not even notice the changes at first, but as days and weeks pass, the compound effect of your routine will be evident. You'll feel healthier, more productive, and more aligned with your goals. This cumulative progress gives you a sense of accomplishment, confidence, and self-efficacy. Creating impactful routines is not about creating a perfect, rigid schedule, but about developing daily practices that empower you. It's about forming habits that are meaningful, sustainable, and adaptable, and that help you prioritize what truly matters. When you design routines that are anchored in purpose and aligned with your values, they become the powerful tools that guide you toward the transformation you desire. These routines are not just a way to fill your day. They are a way to shape your life. Growth doesn't happen in the absence of challenges. It happens because of them. The discomfort, the obstacles, the times when we feel like giving up, these are the moments that push us to grow, evolve, and become stronger versions of ourselves. It's easy to seek comfort, to choose the easy path, and to avoid the things that challenge us. But true transformation occurs when we embrace growth through challenge. Challenges force us to step outside of our comfort zones, test our limits, and confront the areas where we need to improve. Many people shy away from challenges because they fear failure, discomfort, or the unknown. However, it's important to understand that growth isn't linear. It doesn't always happen in a straight line from point A to point B. In fact, real growth often happens when we're faced with the unexpected, the difficult, and the uncomfortable. When things get tough, instead of retreating or giving up, it's important to lean in, to acknowledge the discomfort, and to recognize that it's an essential part of the journey. Growth through challenge requires a shift in mindset. It's not about avoiding obstacles, but about seeing them as opportunities for development. When we reframe challenges in this way, we stop seeing them as roadblocks and start seeing them as stepping stones. Every challenge is an opportunity to learn something new, to test our abilities, and to push our boundaries. Rather than avoiding discomfort, we learn to embrace it. We stop seeing the struggle as a negative experience and start seeing it as a powerful catalyst for personal growth. When we choose to embrace challenges, we learn resilience. Every time we face a challenge and keep going, we build mental and emotional strength. Resilience doesn't come from avoiding difficulties. It comes from navigating through them. It's the ability to bounce back after setbacks, to keep going when things are hard, and to remain committed to our goals even when the path gets tough. Each challenge we face builds our capacity to handle future difficulties, making us more capable and confident in the face of adversity. Embracing growth through challenge also means accepting that failure is a part of the process. Failure isn't something to be feared or avoided, it's something to be learned from. The most successful people aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who fail, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Each failure is a lesson in disguise. It shows us where we need to improve, where we need to adapt, and how we can do better next time. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is an integral part of it. By embracing the lessons that failure offers, we unlock new ways of thinking, new strategies, and new strengths. When we embrace challenges, we also develop a growth mindset. This is the belief that our abilities and intelligence can be developed through hard work, dedication, and persistence. A growth mindset allows us to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities for improvement. It helps us understand that we're not born with a fixed set of abilities, but rather that we can develop our skills over time through effort and learning. The more we embrace challenges, the more we prove to ourselves that we are capable of overcoming them. This mindset shifts our focus from fixed outcomes to the process of continual growth, and it encourages us to keep striving for better no matter where we start. Additionally, embracing growth through challenge helps us build confidence. The more we face difficulties and persevere through them, the more we believe in our own strength and abilities. When we push through a tough situation and come out the other side, we gain a sense of accomplishment. This accomplishment builds our confidence and reminds us that we are capable of handling whatever life throws our way. Each challenge we overcome adds another layer to our self-assurance, allowing us to face future obstacles with greater belief in ourselves. Choosing to embrace growth through challenge doesn't mean seeking out hardship for its own sake. It means recognizing that challenges are a natural part of the growth process. Rather than avoiding them or running from them, we face them head on. We seek out opportunities to challenge ourselves because we understand that this is where the real growth happens. Challenges are the tests that reveal our true potential, pushing us to evolve, to learn, and to become more resilient. In the end, the path to transformation is paved with challenges. Growth is not something that happens in comfort or ease. It happens when we step outside of our comfort zones and push ourselves to achieve more than we thought possible. Embrace the challenges in your life, welcome them as opportunities for growth, and trust that each challenge brings you one step closer to the person you're meant to become. Mindset is the lens through which we view the world, and it has a profound impact on the results we achieve. Our beliefs, attitudes, and perceptions shape how we approach challenges, set goals, and ultimately determine our success. Whether we realize it or not, our mindset influences every aspect of our lives, from how we handle adversity to how we pursue our dreams. When we adopt a positive, growth-oriented mindset, we unlock the ability to achieve far more than we thought possible. It is not simply talent or skill that leads to success. It is the mindset that drives the results. At its core, mindset is the internal narrative we have about ourselves and our capabilities. A person with a growth mindset believes that their abilities can be developed through hard work, dedication, and learning. They see challenges as opportunities to grow and failures as stepping stones to success. In contrast, a fixed mindset believes that abilities are innate and unchangeable. People with this mindset avoid challenges, fearing failure or judgment, and they often give up when things get tough. The difference in mindset is not just theoretical, it has real-world implications for the result people achieve. The way we approach obstacles is one of the clearest examples of how mindset influences results. Someone with a growth mindset views challenges as opportunities to learn and improve. They don't shy away from difficult tasks because they understand that overcoming obstacles is part of the growth process. Each setback is seen as a lesson, a chance to adjust and refine their approach. On the other hand, someone with a fixed mindset may see challenges as signs of inadequacy. They may avoid taking risks or trying new things because they fear failure or believe their abilities are not up to the task. This fear of failure can paralyze them, preventing them from ever reaching their full potential. A growth mindset fosters resilience, which is essential for achieving success. Life is filled with ups and downs, and achieving meaningful results requires the ability to persevere through tough times. People with a growth mindset are not easily discouraged by setbacks. They bounce back stronger because they believe they can improve with effort. They see failure as a temporary obstacle, not a reflection of their self-worth. They find a sense of satisfaction and success, which creates more opportunities for discipline, focus, rest, and a desire for recovery and a drive to physically complete an engagement. This resilience leads to greater persistence, and persistence is key to long-term success. People with a growth mindset keep moving forward even when progress is slow because they trust the process and know that their effort will eventually pay off. Mindset also affects how we set goals. A person with a growth mindset tends to set challenging goals that stretch their abilities, while someone with a fixed mindset might set easier, more attainable goals to avoid the risk of failure. People with a growth mindset believe that they can achieve big things through effort and determination, so they aim high. They don't worry about how impossible a goal might seem because they are confident that their ability to learn and adapt will get them closer to their objective. On the other hand, a fixed mindset often leads to a fear of failure, which can result in setting smaller, safer goals that don't challenge the individual to grow. This limits the potential for success and leads to stagnant results. Moreover, mindset influences how we view feedback. People with a growth mindset embrace feedback as a tool for improvement. They see constructive criticism not as a judgment of their abilities, but as a valuable resource to help them refine their approach. They are open to learning from others and making adjustments to their methods. In contrast, people with a fixed mindset often take feedback personally. They may feel that criticism is an attack on their character, and as a result, they may resist feedback or shy away from situations where they could receive it. This resistance to feedback can prevent them from improving and ultimately hinder their progress. The power of mindset also extends to self-belief. People with a growth mindset believe in their ability to improve and succeed even if they haven't yet mastered a particular skill. This self-confidence drives them to take action, put in the work, and persist when the going gets tough. They know that success is not a matter of innate talent, but of effort, learning, and perseverance. Conversely, those with a fixed mindset may lack confidence in their ability to change or improve, leading them to doubt themselves and avoid taking action. This self-doubt can keep them stuck, preventing them from reaching their full potential. Ultimately, mindset shapes the path we take and the results we achieve. It determines whether we see challenges as opportunities or threats, whether we persist in the face of adversity, and whether we take the necessary steps to reach our goals. A positive, growth-oriented mindset leads to greater success because it encourages resilience, fosters self-belief, and opens the door to continuous improvement. To truly unlock your potential and achieve meaningful results, it's essential to cultivate a mindset that is focused on growth, learning, and progress. Your mindset is the key to success. By shifting the way you think, you can transform your life and achieve results that once seemed impossible. Self-reflection is a powerful tool for personal growth and development. It is the practice of looking inward to examine our thoughts, behaviors, and experiences in order to better understand ourselves and our actions. At its core, self-reflection involves taking time to pause, evaluate, and assess our experiences. It's easy to go through life on autopilot, reacting to events without taking a moment to step back and think about how they align with our values and aspirations. Self-reflection provides the opportunity to break this cycle. By regularly reflecting on our actions, thoughts, and decisions, we create space for intentional growth. This process can take many forms: journaling, meditation, deep thought, or simply taking a walk to clear our minds. But the key is to make it a regular practice that allows us to assess our progress and identify areas for improvement. One of the most powerful aspects of self-reflection is the ability to uncover patterns in our behavior. When we look back at our experiences, we can often identify recurring themes or actions that either propel us forward or hold us back. These patterns might reveal strengths that we can continue to cultivate, or they might highlight weaknesses or blind spots that need attention. By becoming more aware of these patterns, we are in a better position to make intentional changes that align with our desired outcomes. For example, if we notice that we consistently procrastinate on important tasks, self-reflection can help us understand why this behavior occurs, and we can then take steps to break the cycle and improve our productivity. However, self-reflection alone is not enough. To truly benefit from this practice, we must also be willing to adapt. Adaptation is the process of adjusting our behavior, mindset, or approach based on the insights we gain from self-reflection. Without adaptation, self-reflection becomes a passive activity that doesn't lead to meaningful change. Adaptation requires us to take action, to make adjustments, and to continuously improve based on what we learn about ourselves. For instance, self-reflection might reveal that we are not prioritizing our health and well-being despite it being an important value in our lives. Recognizing this discrepancy is the first step, but adaptation requires us to take practical steps to align our actions with our values. This might mean adjusting our daily routine to incorporate more exercise, making time for meal planning, or practicing mindfulness to reduce stress. Adaptation involves moving from awareness to action, turning insights into tangible changes that improve our lives. Another key aspect of self-reflection and adaptation is the ability to embrace mistakes as learning opportunities. It's easy to view failures as setbacks or signs of inadequacy, but when we reflect on our mistakes, we can often uncover valuable lessons. Failure is not the end of the road. It's simply a detour that can lead to growth if we are willing to reflect on what went wrong and how we can do better next time. Self-reflection allows us to approach failure with curiosity rather than judgment, helping us understand the factors that contributed to the outcome and how we can adapt our approach in the future. In addition to personal growth, self-reflection and adaptation also enhance our relationships. When we take the time to reflect on our interactions with others, we can gain insights into how we communicate, how we respond to conflict, and how we can be more supportive or empathetic. This reflection allows us to adapt our behaviors and improve our relationships, fostering greater understanding and connection with the people around us. Self-reflection and adaptation also encourage us to stay aligned with our goals and values. Life is constantly changing, and so are we. As we grow and evolve, our priorities, desires, and aspirations may shift. Through self-reflection, we stay attuned to these changes and ensure that we are still moving in the direction that aligns with our evolving self. Adaptation allows us to course correct when necessary, ensuring that we don't get stuck in old patterns or goals that no longer serve us. Ultimately, self-reflection and adaptation are essential practices for anyone seeking to live a more intentional, fulfilling life. They empower us to take ownership of our personal growth, to learn from our experiences, and to continuously improve. Through self-reflection, we gain the clarity we need to understand who we are and what we want, and through adaptation, we take the necessary steps to turn our insights into action. This cycle of reflection and adaptation becomes the foundation for ongoing growth, helping us navigate the challenges of life with greater resilience, wisdom, and purpose.